Right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Russian Revolution. Just have a look at the key facts of 1917 mainly. Not going into any details as to the whys or wherefores. So number one, in what year did the revolution take place? So what year did the revolution take place? And it was 1917. Okay, number two, who was it against? So it was against the Tsar. Okay, the Tsar, or the Russian Empire, and his autocratic system, if you like. So his autocratic system. Okay, that's who it was against. Okay, the Russians had only just got rid of a feudal system only a few decades before. Who replaced the Tsar and the old revolution, and in which month did that happen? So a provisional government was set up. Okay, so number three, a provisional government was set up by Kerensky, if I remember correctly, and that was in February of that year in 1917, using our calendar as opposed to the Russian one, which was a Gregorian one. Right, number four. When did the Bolsheviks seize power? So when did the Bolsheviks seize power? They didn't seize power straight away. They actually seized power later in the year, in October of 1917, and we all know that October is spelt like so. Now, okay, number five. Which city acted as the main focus of the revolution? It wasn't Moscow. It was actually a city called Petrograd, which during the Soviet times was actually known as Leningrad, and today is known as St. Petersburg. So St. Petersburg, as it's known today, ladies and gentlemen. Number six. What was the name of the Russian Parliament? The Russian Parliament was known as the Duma. So the Duma was the name of the Parliament. Let's look at number seven. What was the name of the workers' councils? Now the workers' councils were known as Soviets. Okay, Soviets. To get the name Soviet Union from. Number eight. Who held most power within them? So we had the Soviets, and it was mainly led by radical socialist factions. So let's put in radical socialist factions mainly led them. Number nine, here we go. What major event was going on in the world at that time, and why was this particularly relevant to the revolution? Well, World War I, which broke out in 1914 and went on till 1918, and it was particularly relevant because of the heavy military losses. So heavy military setbacks and losses, and setbacks, which led to sort of a state of mutiny or mutinies, and even collaboration with the enemy. Fraternization, that's a good word. Right, number 10. Describe the nature of the power that ensued for a while. Okay, so we had the provisional government holding state power. So provisional government, which was principally liberal. Okay, so provincial government. Did I say provincial? Okay, these are provisional. Okay, provisional is not provincial. Provincial is something to do with out in the provinces. Right, provisional. So the provisional government held state power, while the Soviets, led by the socialists, and I'm just going to read the sort of Soviets, led by socialists, held the allegiance, if you like, of the lower classes. Yep, the lower classes and the political left. Okay, so there we have it. Right, number 11. What happened when the provisional, not the provincial, government decided to fight on? Okay, so they decided to fight on World War One. Okay, so the protests continued, strikes. So protests, strikes. So all these things continue to go on. Protests, strikes, mutinies, general chaos, and so obviously the Bolsheviks were unhappy about this, and they campaigned. So the Bolsheviks campaigned for the war to stop. Okay, and stuff like that. Right, number 12, ladies and gents. Here we go. What did the Bolsheviks turn their controlled workers' militias into? Yeah, you guessed it, the Red Guard, or the Red Guards, yeah, which later became the famous Red Army. Okay, let's put a capital R there, because it's famous. Right, number 13, ladies and gentlemen. What happened in the October Revolution, and who led the Bolsheviks? Right, now what happened in the October Revolution was that the Soviets overthrew the provisional government. Okay, so Soviets overthrew the province, well, I say provincial government. Provisional, get it right, not provincial. So let's get rid of them. Okay, and that was led by Lenin, known as Vladimir, his full name. Okay, it would help if I spell it right. And then Lenin, like so. Vladimir Lenin was the leader of the Soviets, the Bolsheviks. Okay, so I'm just going to put up here Bolsheviks as well. So you got the Bolsheviks there. Right, number 14, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. What force did the Bolsheviks use to destroy any dissent? Okay, now this is their secret police, the Cheka. Okay, NKVD and KGB later sort of manifestations of it, if you like. Right, number 15. What was the name of the treaty that ended Russian participation in World War One? It was the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. We have it. Just to say that the Germans basically, more or less, they shipped Lenin in to cause this, these disturbances, if you like, to sort of unsettle the provisional government. Alright, number 16. What was the name of the group of socialists who opposed the Bolsheviks? It was the Mensheviks, the Social Democrats, if you like. Mensheviks. Number 17. What then happened between 1918 and 1921? It was the Russian Civil War, which was extremely bloody. It cost the lives of a further 8 million people. So 8 million killed. And it was the Red Forces, i.e. the Bolsheviks, so the Reds, if you like, the Commie Reds, versus the White Army. And the White Army was supported by the British, the French, and the Americans. We sent soldiers over there to fight alongside these people to try and restore. I'm not sure if we tried to restore the monarchy as such, but we certainly were fighting against Soviet communism. So what was set up in 1922? The USSR, Soviet Union, which stood for the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. which was to remain until 1991. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen.